What's happening, guys? CardMarket here, and today I am doing a very special deck profile. This is my very first ever deck that I ever played in Pokemon. I played this to a first place finish at a regional when I was literally about 9 or 10 years old. This is what I dubbed Do the Rain Dance. I'm pretty sure this was a common deck back then, but I had no reference back then. I had no Fairbank City, no Hayfont, anywhere to copy lists off. So this is just something that I came up with. So if you play it in base set format, some of these choices should be fairly obvious for you. But if not, let me take you through a nostalgia trip and talk about a deck that was hell fun to play and basically a stepping stone for the decks that you play today. So for the Pokemon we are playing two Jigglypuff, if it'll load. Jigglypuff done a Lullaby for a colourless, Pokemon's Now Sleep, which was a pretty solid opener, and Pound for a DCE does 20. Resistance was 30 back then, weakness was still double, retreat of 1. But it is a Big Mama Wigglytuff that you are trying to get in to ASAP. For the 1 energy, it's still putting things to sleep. But do the wave. This was Zoroark GX's Riot of Speeding. Back then, it does 10 damage plus 10 more for each of your benched Pokemon. So it maxes out at 70 damage. Just really, really strong. Can take really quick KOs, especially when you get Blastoise set up for to put 3 energy onto it. It was just a really, really solid card that helped a whole ton of matchups. Then the main core of the deck was 4 Squirtle, Bubble for Paralyzed. It was the only Squirtle you could play, but it was still a pretty solid choice all in all. And Big Daddy Blastoise. Rain Dance, as often as you like, play 1 Water Energy to one of your Pokemon. And Hydro Pump does 40 plus 10 for each Water Energy. It maxes out at 60. 100 HP, which was one of the higher HPs in that day. It was only second to Charizard's 120, Chansey's 120, etc, etc. Retreat cost was never relevant because you very rarely retreated it. This put in so much work, especially when you found the breeder turn 2. Let's not forget you could attack in your first turn as well. That's not really relevant in this aspect, but just keep all this in mind when you're going through the deck. The Hydro Pump was just really, really strong. And lastly, we had 1 Chansey. Chansey actually did attack. For DCE, it is flip a coin if heads or prevent all damage done to this Pokemon by attacks during your opponent's next turn. So it was a really solid stall card because it was 120 HP on a basic, which is still pretty high in current day standards. And for 4 energy, it done 80. I just noticed this is an Evolutions Chansey, but it's still the exact same. Double Edge 80 and 80 itself. 80 was quite a large amount. And lastly, we're playing Cypher. Why are we playing Cypher? It is free retreat cost and slash for 30 because Aerodactyl was a big deck back then. Aerodactyl had Archeops's Pokeability where people could not evolve, so that really hurt Blastoise. So I teched in the 1 Cypher to one-shot the Aerodactyl, which allowed me to Pokemon Breeder up into Blastoise and hopefully seal the game from there. Cypher is amazing, free retreat. Moving on to the trainers, which was the highlight back then. Keep in mind there was no supporters, so you could activate all of these as many copies as you have. Switch is obvious. Bill, good old Bill. Draw 2 cards. Can't remember the exact ratios I played. I do remember it decently well, and these are the ratios I think I played. 3 Bill, draw 2 cards. Energy removal, this was E-Hammer, except it was any energy. Imagine that. Just, energy removal, just far too powerful nowadays, but it was very, very good. 3 Professor Oak, why are we only playing 3? Discard your hand, draw 7 cards, pretty simple. We aren't playing 3 because you play 4 VS Seeker. essentially. Discard 2 cards from your hand and put a trainer card from your discard pile into your hand. Really, really strong. Another reason we're only playing through Professor Oak is because it conflicted with this card, which was really, really, really strong back then. It is last, you and your opponent show each other your hands and then shuffle all the trainer cards from your hands into your decks. This was a really derby opener. Just activate it on your first turn when you're going first. It really set your opponent back and put them into top deck mode because there was no Ultra Ball for Lady for supporter back then, so you really had to hard draw the trainers. Then we have one scoop up, because scooping up, if you have 2 Blastoise in play and one Blastoise is about to die, you can scoop up the Blastoise with the water energy attached, then play down the water energy onto either Wigglytuff or Cypher or whatever else. And of course, skipping up Chansey was very important back then. For Lysander, which you could, Lysander broken, you can still activate Gust of Wind, Professor Oak, and Energy Removal all in the one turn. Computer Search, you know what this card does because it is a ace spec, except you could have 4 copies of it back then. Discard 2 other cards in your hand in order to search any card in your deck and put it into your hand. Most of the time it would be Professor Oak to replenish your hand with lots of energy. For Pokemon Breeder, just rare candy. Put a stage 2 evolution from your hand to a matching basic Pokemon. Then 1 energy retrieval because you play 4 item finders, so you're essentially playing 5 copies of the card. Just allows you to trade 1 of your cards for 2 basic energy. And then lastly, we are playing 14 water energy. So I hope this was a nostalgia trip for you. Like I said, I'm not 100% sure that these were definitely the ratios, as I might have been playing a plus power as well. Plus power would have been really, really strong. So yeah, hope this was enjoyable for you. Please leave a like if you want to see more nostalgic decks from older formats. Please let me know in the comments, because I really did enjoy making this video, bringing back an old favourite. But yeah, please like the video, like the page in the description, comment, rate, subscribe. But for now, this is Chris from YugiohCard signing out.